Hey, Duncan and Alex, how you guys holding up today?
Good, good.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Listen, I am obsessed with this novel. This book is absolutely gorgeous. And Duncan, I want to start with you because, what was the origin of this? I think I understand that it was you meant to do it as a film, but then it kind of became this beautiful graphic novel. Can you tell me a little bit about the genesis of it?
Absolutely. It's as you getting a chance, if you had a chance to look in the book, it is a big, sprawling, globe-trotting science fiction spectacular. It starts in London, it goes to Shanghai, it goes under the Pacific Ocean, comes out in LA, and goes right across the US to New York. So it's a big old monster of a thing. And to do it as a movie or a TV show would be something quite extraordinary. It would be a beast. But to do it as a graphic novel, I think you get to play around with your imagination and really go as far and crazy as you want with it. And that was really the opportunity is to have this physical artifact, to have this physical thing that people could look at and to really just have no restrictions at all. Go as far as we wanted to.
Yeah, it is amazing that you have that capability to do that. And Alex, for you, tell me a little bit about how you hooked up with Duncan and got involved with this project.
Well, we had friends in common. And when Duncan was looking around on Twitter for someone to work with him to create Madi as a graphic novel, he had a lot of knowledge about graphic novels. He'd grown up reading them, had worked for a while on doing a graphic novel interpretation of Mute, but he wanted help on this. And friends suggested me, we got in touch, and we just really got along. And he obviously liked my suggestions and checked with a few friends to make sure I was a relatively normal person to work with. And it just,
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah, you never know who you're going to find on Twitter, right?
Yeah. I generally had quite a positive Twitter experience, but then I have a lot of people muted.
Got it. I get it. Yeah.
Being a woman on the internet, always delightful.
Hello. Yeah, I get it.
But we had so much fun doing this. Like it was a real meeting of minds. There was almost no ego involved. We just really both worked to create the most visually thrilling and entertaining story for our readers we could. And we got to work with some of the greatest comics artists working today, like Simon Bisley, Glenn Fabry, Annie Wu, Pia Guerra, like just giants of the medium. And I almost feel like we were both we neither of us wanted to be the smartest person in the room. So we got all these artists who were smarter than we were, did the best script we could, and then they just took it and excelled from there.
Yeah, it's quite amazing because Duncan, like you said, this is a road trip story. And what I find so fascinating is that each location was assigned to a different artist. That is so cool because obviously there's a lot of drawings in this, but how do you coordinate that and then make it flow so that it's kind of seamless?
Well, Alex did the coordination, that's for sure. I mean, but what I would say is that over these past 12 months where a lot of us have been locked up and have been desperate to get out and travel the world or just go somewhere else, this is really that experience in your lap. You can travel and because those artists go from I'd have different responsibilities for the different sections, it really feels so fresh and so different every time you go from one place to another.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Alex, can you address that?
Yeah, I was just going to say the disciplines of making films and directing and making graphic novels are very, very different, but there is one principle that carries through, and that is production is pre-production. So we got so much organized ahead of time and knew exactly what we wanted from people and exactly who was doing what and what the order of the artists were, that then when it came time to produce, and the artists were actually drawing, it was a fairly simple, if stressful procedure of getting everybody organized and making sure that everyone was cross-referencing, and so forth and so forth. I mean, the book was very easy to divide up because it was a road trip. I mean, if it had been set in one location, we couldn't have done what we did with it. But our goal was to take this screenplay that Duncan had and create something that was uniquely comic book about it, that could not be done on screen. and take visual risks and do truly exciting things that would only happen in the world of the graphic novel.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's kind of like having a different director for each episode of a show or something, kind of like that, and getting that visions of different people. It's quite extraordinary. Duncan, I got to ask you just very quickly. I mean, you have such a beautiful, unique style in your films, obviously with this, and I just wondered, what you learned from your dad. David Bowie. I'm talking to you from Toronto, where he has so many amazing fans. His show was brought here, and it was just packed. People couldn't get in to see it. I was lucky enough to see it in London. But I got to ask, what kind of influence, at the end of the day, was he on your style?
Well, I mean, I think the thing I would say is that on an artistic level, one of the things that he was never scared to do was allow the people that he was collaborating with to do what they do best. If you're going to work with someone, let them show you what they're good at, and embrace it. And I think he was never one to kind of push down or stamp down on someone's ideas. He was always willing to collaborate and use them if they felt like they would make whatever he was working on better.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing. Yeah. Well, listen, congratulations to the both of you on this wonderful graphic novel. Wow. It's just gorgeous. I can't wait for people to get a look at it. And it's my pleasure to have the opportunity to talk to you both this morning. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
One thing, if I can, you have a wonderful comic book shop in Toronto called The Beguiling. You can absolutely get Madi there. Please, if you're interested in the book, it is out now. You can buy it from your favorite independent local comic shop or bookseller. If you don't happen to have a local comic shop or bookseller who will mail it to you, you can also get it from the Z2 website, z2comics.com/Madi. And your viewers can use the code MADITV, MADI-TV, to get 10% off there.
Well, that is fantastic. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And again, thank you so much for your time, you guys. Have a great day and stay healthy and safe, okay?